Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 1 of the 1v1 show. It feels so good to be back. Yes, I think the last time I did the 1v1 was summer last year under Legion. So this has been a long time coming. I worked towards bringing the 1v1 show back for quite a long period of time, and I'm so glad to be back doing it. And of course, for those of you new to the 1v1 show, this is a podcast where I get to 1v1 a new guest every single week. Regularly, we'll be taking a look at guests in the amateur scene, but we might be dipping our toes into the pro scene a little bit as the season goes on. But for the very first episode, I am joined by none other than Vikul, I guess an amateur, a semi-pro, amateur, I don't know, amateur player from Spain. Vikul, how are you doing?
Good afternoon, Nfinity. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm so happy to have you on. You were one of the... when I made this show again, I came up with the concept. I said, I want to do season 3. You were one of the first guests I wanted on. You have a very rich history, I think, in amateur Call of Duty. You are... I guess it's fair to say one of the most prominent players currently in Spanish amateur Call of Duty.
Yep.
Of course, that because Spain has its own scene right now, right? It has obviously the NGL and such. It's always had some form of league, right? And obviously you're one of the leading players. I think captain, right, on Pushing Gaming.
Yeah.
Captain.
I'm the current captain of Pushing Gaming, and as you said, we could say we're the best amateur team in Spain, and I would say Europe, but I don't wanna throw that off yet.
Okay, all right.
Amateur, like I mean like under 18 players, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is the thing, because we've always had this discussion about, I think, in Call of Duty in general, right? We've always had this discussion about how under 18s are going to perform when against those 18-year-olds. And generally speaking, there have been a number of players, such as Kleenex, Gizmo is currently making that transition at the moment, from under 18 to yeah, well, exactly, from under 18 to 18 plus. And those questions are always asked, and a lot of the time the answers are quite positive. In relation to your team, Vikul, the questions I think have been asked for over a year now. And we'll be getting into that transition because, of course, again, like we said, you have a very long history in terms of the Black Claw dominance, we'll call it, and now under Pushing Gaming. But I want to start this by asking where you begun playing competitive Call of Duty.
Well, I started off in a pub in Advanced Warfare. I met this guy in a pub, and he like brought me into the scene, into the Spanish scene a bit. He played competitive, and we started playing ladders, you know, like GB ladders, but in Spain, it was called LVP, you know, the previous league that Spain had. Well, he had a ladder, and I started playing there, and that was basically my Advanced Warfare Epoca. I don't know how to say it in English, but doesn't matter. And then when it transitions to Black Ops 3, I sort of took it a bit more seriously. Like I started playing every day, 6-7 hours non-stop. I arrived from school, and the first thing I turn on the PS, start playing until like 12 o'clock at night, and it was basically there where like my level was going up and up, and I was changing teams from teams to teams, better teams and better teams, until there was a point I joined the professional league. It wasn't LVP because I wasn't allowed due to age purposes, but I joined Social Nat. It was another Spanish professional league, and I started competing with the best of the best. I think there's a video on YouTube of how I beat Heretics, the team of On A Journey, Pavlovskis, and Lucky. So I mean, it was a point of inflection there, you know, like it was a point of being an amateur player, like a noob, you could say a noob in the Spanish scene, to be like more recognized. And I was 12-year-old by then. Like my voice was funny, people would laugh at me, but I was just so good at that game that people just respected me. And then IW came, and LVP, which was our main goal, changed to 16 plus. And obviously I was about to turn 14. I was about to play it. I was so happy, and they changed it to 16. So like all of us that were like 14, 15, Eric, Rancor, some other players, Maxed, I think. We just like stuck together, you know, as a team. So it was Eric, Rancor, Maxed, and myself at the start of IW. But I mean, none of them had the experience I had. So like the team was like we were kids, you know.
Yeah.
So we fought a lot. We, if like for example, if Eric said a joke about Rancor, Rancor would get mad and go, and we wouldn't play screams that day until there was a boom in the team, and we had to drop Maxed, and we got another player called Joel, and we sort of finished the year with him. We had some like top. We had top threes, top twos during the summer in IW in some Spanish events, and then we came back with Maxed. We dropped Joel because he wasn't very good. We got Maxed again, and then we won Barcelona Games World uh, at the end of IW. And then we sort of changed the team to transition to World War II because again Maxed, we dropped him again because his attitude wasn't very good. So we got Alphan in, and yeah, that was a team of Rancor, Eric, Alphan, and myself. That's where we transitioned into more European leagues like EEG and Val
Hmm.
and other things. But there was a problem. Like Rancor started meeting his girlfriend. Alphon was like 19. He was all day partying, you know. Screams were, I don't want to play today.
Yeah.
And I was like, we have Val players this weekend, boys. I'm not here. I can't play. So I had to put English people into their accounts. That's when I started playing with more English people. Like I started playing money eights with like Fusions, Gizmo,
Hmm.
um, like other players. I don't know, Tamo, um, Choki, you know, players
Hmm.
from the English scene, and I sort of like was more known in Europe. And then yeah, and then out of nowhere we came back from the second SFCO. We got top two in both of them, and out of nowhere, in my opinion, I was like the best teammate ever. I was in every time, and I had a fight with them because like I was like tired of not playing, and suddenly I got dropped. I don't know from where, and they got Buller in. So it was Rancor, Eric, Buller, and Alphon. I have to say, I wish it wasn't me the change, but Buller like he's been like I don't know. He's such a good teammate. He's such a good player,
Hmm.
and I wish him the best, to be honest. But like, as soon as Buller joined the team for me, they started winning everything. I think they got three top ones in the summer on World War Two, Gamer G, Madrid Games World,
Hmm. Yeah.
and Gamepolis. So that was like that was at the time they played for G Sports.
Game addicts, right? That's a
Yeah,
very
Game
early
Addicts.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, so they won everything, and then Black Ops 4 came over, and I sort of formed a team with players that were like less known. Like Real was less known. He was getting top threes, top fours in events at World War Two, and I found him like he was a very good player. He had he had a lot of passion, so I got him. I got Ninjaso, I got Home Freaks, and I got Maxid, I think it is,
Hmm.
and we formed a team of five. While the GA team, Rencor, Eric, Alphon, and Buller, got Sappy in.
Yeah.
Or Burn. Was it Burn?
I don't know, but you guys with Burn, Burn and Zappy are sort of like players that you just rotated out over the course of Black Ops 3. So
I
I
think,
could be either.
I think, no, Alphon got dropped, sorry, from that team. And it was Sappy, Burn, Buller, Rencor, and Eric.
Hmm.
So it was such a good team. And, like, Game Addicts started the game, like, not being serious. Well, my team was being very serious. Like, they started the game with an ego, you know?
Hmm.
Like, because they won everything in World War II, so they started with an ego. And my team, like, we didn't win anything in World War Two. The thing we wanted most in the world was beating Game Addict. So we started playing like every day. And the first Spanish tournament came over in December, and we won it, like in the final against them. And suddenly, from nowhere, they didn't like Eric. His attitude was being bad, apparently. And Eric, Legend, you know Legend from Giants,
Yeah.
he was just dropped from Giants Gaming, and he was a free agent, and he got messaged by Eric, got messaged by Legend, and because Legend wanted to compete, so he wanted to form a team, and he messaged Eric, and Eric left straight away. He was sort of he was dropped, but he left at the same time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, Game Addicts talked to me, and because they wanted to get me, and I was like, I mean, my team is really good, but at the end of the day, if I want a more professional team, I have to go to Game Addicts, you know.
Yeah.
So I changed teams, and Eric suddenly Legends project didn't come up, and he joined Pushing. So it was like it was a trade between Eric and me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the Black Claw dominance started, and that's where we won nearly everything. I think the only thing we lost was a Spanish tournament um, against Eric's team, against Pushing, and that's when there was one point where Burn couldn't play anymore because of work. Well, it was first because I couldn't attend Malta 2.0 because of exams.
Yeah.
So they got Real in for me, like just to sub in for the event, and suddenly Burn came with a work offer, and he left competing, so I just swapped in for Burn, and it was Sappy, Buller, Rancor, Real, and me.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah. I
that's been
think.
the best.
Yeah.
I think that's the best team I've had. Like
Well,
honestly.
that Malta 2.0 team.
No, Malta 3. No,
the
no.
2.
Just after Malta 2.0.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, like, that's the thing, because, I mean, that answers my question. I was going to ask how Black Claw formed, because, of course, that year for you guys, I think, from our perspective as casters, and I think for you, it was so, I think, shocking, right? Because in World War II, our idea of sort of what your team was like, Game Addicts, towards the end of the game, I think you guys, the most you got was, like, top 8, top 16 in Battle Leagues, right? Various different reasons, that was just how it was. So for us as casters, we didn't really put that much stock into you guys, and then in Black Ops 4, all of a sudden you guys just came out of nowhere and just started dominating everything.
It's because I'm gonna interrupt you. The problem with World War II to before is that the transition of Spanish teams to internationally to Europe,
Mhm.
it's always been like in, for example, pro teams, only Giants Gaming. Pro teams, Movistar Riders came up. Okay, they started investing. Heretics came up, they started investing, and like the Spanish community like moved in a such to like the whole the European continent,
Yeah.
and like pros started to play more like Europe based,
Yeah, of course.
and therefore the amateur teams we also started playing more Europe based, and we took it more seriously because in World War II it was a party, like we literally didn't care. And I love how like there's so many English players. Like when I talked to them in Black Ops 4, like we had discussions, and they brought up the fact that I got top 32 in EEG season 3 in World War 2, and I'm like, listen, I played with 3 pickups in Rancors, Eric's, and Alphonse accounts, talking in English with, and literally we're in the present, and I'm literally fucking you, so like please shut up. So yeah, it was basically that. It's Black Ops 4. It's sort of the game where we started taking more seriously the European leagues, you know.
Yeah, and of course it went so well, right? I can't remember if you guys actually ended up winning any of the leagues. I think you guys played very well, but there was a couple.
Yes.
Yeah, you won a couple, right?
Black Claw won the 2 summer ones, but
Yeah.
we got top. I mean, we got top 2 in one, but Dylan was playing the final, so
Yeah,
that
it's
doesn't
like
count.
you can't really.
We
can't
lost.
Really do anything.
We lost to Singularity 6-4 last map, and I think we lost because Bits 1v1 Rancor in the 5-4 when Rancor had the annihilator. Yes, do you say
Yeah,
that?
they annihilated.
The
Yeah.
pistol.
Yeah.
Yes, and Rancor like actually hit him, but it was their host, so the bullet.
Well, I
didn't
mean
hit.
that was been the story, right, for you guys, for Spanish teams as a whole. I think whenever we cast you guys, it happened in Black Ops 4 so much because obviously Treyarch networking and hit detection isn't the best anyway, and thrown into the mix that you have a Spanish team off host playing an English team and vice versa. What would essentially happen is you get host wars, right? Because this is a discussion that we had quite often, was that you guys, funnily enough, would always ask for the 2 respawns rather than the search and destroys.
We would ask for the 2 respawns because the search and destroys was sort of more a strategic
yeah, exactly.
based game, so it was
It makes
more
sense, right? Because obviously you're going to come across this. It's going to be more frantic. You're gonna get more gunfights to play on those respawns, and it became kind of a meme for us. We kind of knew that as soon as you sent that message in chat, like, oh yeah, can we host maps 3 and 4, please? And you can have 1, 2, and 5. It was always just really funny, to be honest, to see.
Yeah.
And I think that really does sort of accentuate exactly how Black Ops 4 was for you guys. It was more online. It was these host wars. LAN, very different story. Now, I had the privilege of casting you guys at EEG Malta 2.0.
Well, I didn't play,
but Black Claw as a whole did, right? And without you, because of course, as you say, you had your exams, you had studies to focus on at the time. Yet still, you guys not only won that event, I think Black Claw as an organisation, but not you guys as a team, won EG Malta 1.0, I believe. That was the very
Black
start.
Claw won, yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't your team.
I mean, Cleefy was the second best team, so.
Yeah, it was. I will admit, and Ruben's probably going to shred me for this. The competition at EG Malta 1.0 was nowhere near as good as 2.0 or 3.0.
No chance.
Just facts, right? But I think that's just because EEG as a whole has been taken a lot more seriously now, because it's gained a lot of positive reputation over the past couple of years. That being said, like I said, you guys on LAN, a different story entirely. I think there was a lot of questions about you guys. Going into that LAN event, would you even show up? And then without you, I suppose, but Blacklaw still ended up winning it. I think even without you being present, were you sort of relieved in a way that was a moment where you guys had proved that, hey, look, we're not onliners. We can actually play the game.
I think if I would have gone to Malta for Real or for Burn, we would have won 3-0 the finals. We wouldn't have dropped a map.
I mean, Radiant were a pickup team, right? Anyway.
It's because my play style compared to Real's, because Real was subbing in for me. Like with me, the team was going very well, but Buller is such a slow player. Venkor was a slow player. He killed a lot, but at the end of the day, he was a slow player.
Yeah. And
Real came into the team, and Real came from a team that didn't know how to play the game. Like the only thing they did was boom, 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 hardpoint, chow, chow, chow. And Black Ops 4 wasn't a game like that. Black Ops 4 was go to the bag, spawns, blah, blah, blah. So the change of Real to Real for me was like, it went so bad. Like screams, like I was coaching the screams because I had nothing to do, obviously.
Yeah.
So like I would see my team play, like they were playing teams with me, like we 100-point clubbed them, and with Real they started losing maps. And that's why Radiant sort of had an advantage. They didn't take. But I mean, like, I think with me in the team, as well, I'm such a, like, I always start like S&D scene. I play a lot of S&D, so I mean, I think it would have benefited more the team if I would have gone, but you know, circumstances happen.
Yeah, of course. I mean, yourself, right? Because in Black Ops 4, there was two. I guess there was one key storyline with Black Claw or Game Addicts, regardless of what org you guys were under. One of the key storylines I think everyone knew of was the storyline of whether or not Renkor was the best player in the amateur online Call of Duty scene.
Definitely.
In my opinion, I think so. I think for all the discussions we had, it was always him or Gizmo, right? I mean, that was the big thing. That was the big face-off that happened at EG Malta 2.0. Of course, whether or not individually, statistically speaking, it was the case, Renkor did come out on top because Black Hole won. But for you, I think, how was that for you guys? Because for one of the, I think, again, one of the key storylines going on with the team was you guys always got, I think, a lot of flack for what people considered playing around Renkor as a player, right? I mean, whenever I spoke to you guys, I spoke to teams about Blacklaw, about, what do you think about Blacklaw? What do you think about the way they play? The answer would always be, well, Blacklaw are just a team that play around this one player. I mean, they literally kill Whore. What would you say about that at the time? Do you think it was a legitimate strategy?
I think they're right. Like, to be honest, that's what we did. But after Malta 2.0, I joined back the team for Burn.
Yeah.
And we got Psychotic? You remember him?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, he started coaching us. And that was the biggest change we saw in the team. Like, Psychotic honestly, he could coach, like he could be a CDL coach. Like I promise. He understood so much the game that in scrims he started saying, Vikul push this, push this, Buller stay here, Sapi go this way. And like we sort of we automatically learned how to play the game
Mm-hmm.
in the right way, in the way pros played it. And suddenly from needing 8,000 damage of Rancor, we passed to maps where Rancor didn't even appear. Like
Yeah.
he got normal damage like everyone else, and we would still win them with the same superiority. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it was after Malta 2.0 where everything changed, and we proved that in Gamepolis in the CTP finals against Pushing, and yeah. So I think yeah they're right, but I want to say like I didn't see any tweets. I just saw tweets. Optic are so good. Optic played for Dashi,
Yeah, of
and no
course.
one
Yeah.
complained about it.
Mm-hmm.
Optic is so good. Optic. Well, if we have a player in the team like Dashi, it's not my fault.
Yeah.
No. So obviously, if he's just better than the rest, because in Black Ops 4, Rancor was just better than the rest. I'm sorry to say this.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't he why does Barcelona play for Messi?
Mm-hmm.
No?
Yeah, yeah.
They're
I
the
mean,
same
you're not
thing.
wrong. I agree. I think for you then, I suppose the question would be: did you ever kind of feel like you were understated as a player, underrated? Do you guys think people would think?
Listen. Black Ops 3, I was the best. Like
Right.
no one was even close to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm talking about the under 18
Yeah, of course.
players.
Yeah, of course.
Uh, when IW came and I joined Eric and Rancor, they were just so good, and Maxed, they were just so good that I talked to the pillow, you know, and I was like, listen, I'll play for respawns, I'll be the anchor, and let them kill, and
Mm-hmm.
let them kill, because that's how the team is gonna win at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So since that point, I've never been the star. I've never been the best,
Mm-hmm.
and it's sort of like it's just in my mind, you know. I'm a more team. I under before everything is a team, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I've always had this. If you want to win individually, go and play Tekken. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's funny. It's funny you
That's
mentioned
it.
that because Tekken's always at EEG.
Yes,
So there you go.
basically.
You got your motivation right in front of you, and your players like, oh, can't be too selfish.
So yeah, so that's all it is about winning
Yeah.
as a team, not as an individual.
Yeah, and I've always respected that ethic. I think for me, when people would say to me, oh, you know, like I said, bringing it back to that point that, oh, well, these guys just play around one player. If Renkel wasn't there, they would be bad, right? I always thought, well, why wouldn't they? It's a viable strategy. It works, so you know, it makes sense. You know, coming into Modern Warfare though, because I will say, Modern Warfare wise, we have seen very little from anything in terms of the amateur scene this season. We've only had one EEG season thus far. We haven't had Val just yet. Val playoffs are coming. Well, they will have come by just this weekend. So, whatever. But this is pre-recorded, if you're wondering, guys. Yeah, so Val and EEG, by the time this goes out, would have been it. We would have had one season of both, and it's now March 2020. We haven't seen much from you guys besides the LAN. From what we saw...
I mean, we won EEG season 1.
Yeah, well, yes, of course, but on LAN wise, right? I think things really changed, right? Because I think when in Black Ops 4, even towards the end when things might have changed slightly, in Black Ops 4, I still feel like the storyline was Rancor was the player on the squad and everyone else would play it around him. In Modern Warfare, and
you have to
specifically
no,
at LAN,
you have to remember that Rancor, he proved everyone wrong
Mhm.
because he stayed in Black Claw, and all of us left. You have to remember that. And
Oh yeah, that was
I
that
think
big thing at the start
it
of the
was
season, right?
Rancor. It was Rancor, Kachu, Torres,
And Maxi?
Vortex,
Was it Vortex?
Vortex,
All right.
Vortex, and I'm missing one. Well, Maxit,
Oh yeah, I was gonna
Maxit,
say, I think yeah, Maxid, yeah.
Maxit, Rancor, Kachu, Torres, and Vortex.
Yeah.
And they won the Summer
Euro-
Cup,
the European Cup,
EEG,
yeah, at the
and
end.
The Val Summer Cup as well.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
I mean that
mean,
was. We always thought that was a pickup squad, though. We never got confirmation if that was sort of a.
no, no, that was a pickup squad.
that
But
was
they
just a pickup
actually
squad, yeah.
they scrimmed, so
Yeah,
I suppose it was like a team pickup.
team just for the end of the season until like the
Yeah.
contracts and CDL stuff got sorted out, right? But I think my point more than anything is for Modern Warfare. I think you guys on an individual level, a lot changed because obviously Zappy and Buller, they left the squad. Buller's now obviously, as you said, doing well for himself on Tal, but Zappy. I don't know where Zappy is at the moment. Actually, I'm pretty sure he might be.
He's at Kawaii Kiwis.
Oh God, I pray for his contract. But yeah, so you guys, you changed the roster quite significantly. Zappy and Buller left, who are mainstays on the roster. We'll say good players as well. You brought in, I think it was Methods, right? And Ray.
It was Maxed.
Methods is Rail and Burn, right?
It was Rancor, Eric, Maxed, Real, and myself.
Yeah. So you changed the
So
roster.
basically the five kids from Spain.
Yeah, and you changed the roster for EEG Malta 4.0. And for me personally, I think things changed significantly, right? To me, at that point in time, Rencor was still a great player, but he was no longer just the one player on the star on the squad.
Eric.
You guys, I mean, Eric played incredibly at EEG Malta 4.0. There was a reason. I mean, there was no discussion at the caster's desk after the final. We knew immediately who that MVP medal was going to.
Yeah.
Regardless, though, I think more than anything, that LAN event for us casters, and I presume for you, proved that you guys could all shine when you needed to. You all had your moments,
yeah.
I think.
I was gonna say, talking about this. Sorry for interrupting you again.
No, it's fine.
It's literally, we got to a point right now. Well, we're with Ninjasto now, or Maxed.
Yeah.
So it's basically the same team. Like, to be honest, okay, Eric, yes, he has the best. Yeah, I think he has the best chow at the moment. Like challenge-wise. But like, we're all so good. Like, I don't think no one is like back here, you know. Last year, maybe, if you say when I was playing with the SMG in Black Ops 4, okay, you could say I was like sort of a little bit worse than the rest. But like in this game, we're all so good. Like anyone could shine. Eric shined in Malta 3.0. Obviously he did. But like in like there's moments where we shine. We're all so good, and like our relationship outside the game is so good. So good that it's like, you know, I come in to play scrims and I'm happy, you know, and not always that happened before. Like we've had problems. Like we honestly had problems. We had a lot of problems because obviously I met this girl. Typical.
Why is it always a girl? Why is that always what happens? I've heard this story so many times.
Yes, but what do you prefer?
Yeah, it's true.
When you finish class, meet your girlfriend or play scrims against, I don't know, whatever team.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Makes sense.
So I mean, now I'm more serious. I'm playing 2 scrims a day, I think, and every day, nearly every day. So and now the team is so good. I love it so much that I mean, yes, Eric could have won the MVP, but I don't think he's the best. I don't think no one of us is the best. I just think we're all so good. But it's true. I want to mention something that Rancor is like a step above us.
You still think he is still a better player?
Not like in skill wise. Like I think he just, like, I mean, okay, Rancor has the most time out of all of us, and instead of losing time, instead of torching time, he watches the streams. He watches pro streams. He watches the CDL like every single match, and he knows the respawns like no one in the world. Like when we went on bootcamp last weekend, I got my iPad with the Apple Pencil, and Rancor would literally tell us where we have to push and where the team is gonna spawn and blah blah blah, you know. So I think like in understanding of the game wise, Rancor is a step over us, but in skill, but in skill, like I think we're all at the same level. Obviously, there's players that shine more times than others, but like we all shine, and yeah, basically.
Yeah, of course. I mean, one thing I do want to ask you guys, well, you, Vikul specifically, is the changes that were made to pushing. So you briefly mentioned it because Max plays with you guys at EG Malta 3.0. You didn't dominate necessarily, but you won the competition pretty convincingly. Your only real competition was FTW Esports, the Portuguese side. Why did you make a change? I mean, I presume there's a lot of politics behind the scenes with going to these changes. Because you brought in methods very briefly, right?
Yes, we come for like I came from like World War II. No, IW. I had to drop Maxed once.
Yeah.
At the start of World War II, I had to drop Maxed twice, a second time. So like, our relationship with him, as a whole, wasn't the best. Like, and also, like the vibes were like there were a lack of vibes with him, and it was always Eric and Real, Rancor and Vikul, you know.
Mhm.
And Maxed was sort of left out. And also like his game style, he was such a kill whore. Like like there's a map against, I think, for the win, we lose 250 to 248 Ramazza.
Oh yeah, don't talk to me about that
Yes.
map. That was insane.
And I think he gets like 40 something kills, and we still lose them up.
Mhm.
Like, like makes no sense.
Yeah.
So all of that combined, and as a whole in the team, we decided to drop him, and Method wanted to compete again, and obviously Method is like such a legend in Spain, you know. So sharing a team with him was one of our main desires. So we sort of did that change, yeah.
Mhm. Do you think it benefited you guys getting methods in for that period of
No.
time? No, not at all. Why did you? I mean, it was a very short period of time, right? I mean, you guys have started NGL with him, I believe. You moved from Blacklaw to Pushing Gaming for reasons, I presume, contractual reasons.
Yes.
Yeah, I figured. I mean, like, obviously, I'm not going to ask you to reveal so much.
No,
But
I'm not gonna say much because obviously it doesn't involve me. If it was a me thing, like I can tell you, like my part, Blacklaw was a great organization, but you could see in Malta 3.0, you know?
Mhm.
How many times did my boss go to the event? Tell me.
How many times? What? Sorry. Did
How many times did Root, you know Root?
Rude? What
Root, the boss, our boss.
Oh right,
Blacklaw
yeah, yeah.
boss,
Sorry, I didn't know her name. Yeah, no,
Yes.
she went once.
How-
She went to.
to the finals, right?
Yeah.
She saw the finals, she left.
She didn't celebrate with
Like-
you guys. So is it a personal thing then?
Maxed is 17. Rancor
Right.
is 17. Eric is 17. Well, yes. Real was 16 at that point, and I was 16 at that point.
Yeah.
5 under 18s, completely alone around Malta.
That's probably not the best, to be fair. I mean,
Basically that. So,
Yeah.
and our relationship, I'm gonna say it, Black Claw was a root Rancor relationship.
yeah.
And I understand completely because Rancor stayed in at the end of the season in Black Ops 4, and the rest of us left. So that's why like there was a priority on Rancor.
Yeah.
So it was like, a swap in order to everyone be the same.
Yeah, of course. It makes sense. It's fair enough. But now you guys are under Pushing Gaming. Things are, I think, are a lot more solidified for you guys. You're on stable ground. But you have made changes still. Again, you've moved from Max to Methods. And now you brought in Ninjaso. Now, this change isn't... I don't think it's been as easy as any of the other changes you've made, even with all the roster overhauls you guys have made over the course of time, from World War II to now. The Ninjaso change is possibly one of the most publicised, I think, changes in the amateur scene at the moment. What the hell happened? Because I think this is a part of a larger issue, right? Because
Okay,
this is so complex.
I'm gonna tell you in one word. Ninjaso. Well, no, in a few words.
So, you've already gone over the limit.
Ninjaso signed a contract with when you want to leave an esports team, the amount of money you have to pay, how is that called?
It's a buyout clause.
Buyout clause.
Yeah.
With a buyout clause of 6K, without any sort of salary.
That's mad.
Like,
but
that's mad.
I mean, I knew about this, right? I knew about the buyout clause because I spoke to Ninjaso, right? I spoke very briefly to him about it. I mean, have you spoken to him about like signing that contract when it first happened?
I mean, we didn't give it like too much deep thoughts about it. We wanted him, or it was him or him. And I mean, I'm sorry to say this. I'm sorry for the Spanish teams. but the NGL like lacks so much level. Like everyone is so bad that we didn't care of playing with Sukri, you know? Playing
Hmm.
with Sukri or Ninjaso. Okay, Sukri as a pickup for Ninjaso and just Ninjaso in other leagues, you know?
Hmm.
Because there's like 3 or 4 leagues apart from NGL. It's EEG, Val, Arena GG in Spain, and yeah, I think that's it.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, so that's enough. Like there's 3 leagues to play with him and obviously events. So I mean, NGL went over the roof with the ban because he can't play until August, so he couldn't play the finals with us. Um, but I mean, they make their own decisions. NGL. I just want to say like, there's been so many roster changes in NGL, and the only person who got banned was Ninjaso. Like I don't understand why. I don't understand from where this comes from, but it's just like a hate towards our team, you know?
But was that anything to do with the contractual agreements in place? Because obviously,
Yes,
yeah, because obviously Ninjaso had as you say, a 6K buyout, which is an incredible figure for. And this isn't
yeah, but
anything against Ninjaso. That's an incredible figure for a
no,
player
no,
like Ninjaso.
obviously, and it's even an incredible number for a player like Eric. Like,
Yeah.
okay, but it's there's some rules in NGL where like if the org agrees to leave the to let the player leave, there's no problem. But the boss of Kawaii Kiwis decided to fuck Ninjaso. Like not let him go out, put him as a sub, and um, the NGL is not a player-based league. No.
Hmm.
It's an org-based league. Like the priority is the org,
Right.
not the players. Like so, if in pushing, it was Nfinity, Connor,
That's all you need.
George,
That's all you need, man.
Chris Health, and Rencor, they wouldn't care about any of you. They would only care about pushing. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. Of course.
So obviously they didn't help Ninjaso in any sort of way. They just banned him for 6 months. So that puts us into a position where we have to play the second split with Socri, and we have to play the finals in Valencia, in DreamHack Valencia, with Socri as well.
It's not. I mean, it's not a bad position to be in. To be fair, obviously,
No, obviously
you
not.
like you said, you don't really mind whether it's Sukri or Ninjaso, but the point is, you want to play with Ninjaso. Do you think there's any like? Do you think there was a better way that you guys could have handled the situation? Because I tried to listen to both sides at the time. I tried to sort of understand what was going on because obviously it's very hard for me, an English-speaking person, to keep in because the twitlongers that were going out were in full Spanish and you can't Google translate those. So for me, I was trying to keep a track of it. But I guess from my understanding of the situation, you approached Ninjaso, you pulled him out without playing the buyout, right? Do you think there was a better way for you guys to handle the situation, maybe, with
Yeah.
Ninjaso?
I think the best thing we could have done is org to org.
Mm-hmm.
Because we sort of like, instead of telling our boss, Alex, his name is Alex,
Yeah.
instead of telling him to talk to the boss of Kawaii Kiwis about Ninjaso, we sort of made the change between Ninjaso and us, like players and players. And obviously that's because, the typical expression in English, in Spanish is like the knife from the back, you know?
Yeah, stabbing someone in the
So
back, right?
like, yeah, so like the team didn't know that Ninjaso was gonna leave, and that lead to uh fuck Ninjaso up, like don't let him leave and shit like that. So I think we could have handled it better by making Alex, the owner of Pushing Gaming, talk with the owner of Kawaii Kiwis and talk to the NGL and find an agreement with no money
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and yeah, decide make it better, you know?
Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, you seem to have these sort of small issues with NGL, right? Very small, very minor, nothing too bad, right? NGL at the moment, I think is, for me personally, when they first announced NGL, I thought it was so cool. I thought it was like, oh, this is going to be incredible production league. I do wish they'd have an English stream, and I still say they should have an English stream because they probably do miss a lot of viewership that they otherwise would have. That being said, what would you say would improve an organisation like NGL? Because at the moment, I get the kind of feeling that you don't rate it maybe as highly as the other leagues that you participate in.
Okay. I'm gonna give you an example, okay? Give me what's the most important thing of Barcelona?
What, just the football team, right? Barcelona. Their player. Well, I
Messi,
mean,
no?
what are you talking
Messi,
about? As in like, oh, okay. I thought you were
players.
saying like just like the players, right?
Messi, no?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Okay, so would do you think La Liga would lose a lot of fans if Messi left to Premier League, for example?
Uh, I don't, personally, I'll be honest in saying I don't know enough about football to answer this properly. But
Okay,
from what I can gather, the
yes,
answer you're looking
they
for is
would.
yes.
Okay, so the NGL doesn't care about the players, in
Mhm.
my opinion. They only care about the orgs. And yeah, and the another purpose is that if you give your opinion out in Twitter, you get banned. Uh, I mean, you get banned for a match, and yeah, the ban to Ninjaso is out of no like out of the roof. Like I think it's 6 months for an amateur player is like basically fucking him up. And yeah, I think those are the main issues. And they want to complain that I don't give like enough. Like I don't tweet like I tweet nothing about NGL.
Yeah, of course.
Like I'm not forced to. I didn't sign a contract with them saying I have to do that, so I'm not doing it because like they treating me bad, my team bad by banning Ninjaso. So why would I treat them well? Um, but I mean we've had some conversations with them, and hopefully this will improve during time. And obviously it's Eric, Rancor, and me. Well, it's Rancor, Eric, and me. Rancor has the most followers, then it's Eric, then it's me, I think,
Mhm.
or something like that. I don't know. Well, doesn't matter. So if basically if I tweet, okay, I have so many English for example players that okay maybe not the Afros, the Brain Goats, the good players wouldn't maybe they won't go into stream to see it, but maybe like I don't know players that are less known just want to enjoy some code and gonna watch the stream, you know. So obviously our tweets are so important for them, but apparently not. So I mean, yeah, that's the main issues with NGL.
Okay, fair enough. If NGL was to sort of improve on those issues, where do you think sort of they stand in the amateur scene as a whole right now? Because obviously, as you say,
Uh,
EEG have got these lands coming in, right? I
Top
mean,
two.
yeah, you think NGL is a top two?
Uh, I think NGL is a top two because EEG, like honestly, like they just do things so good that I mean, they just like they don't have a calendar of how when to play the games. They have playoffs where all the money is played. Like, I'm sorry for Val. Like, I'm gonna say it. I told them the other day. You cannot announce 3K prize pool and like take out 1,200 euros and put those prices into 2Ks. Who plays the 2Ks? Like,
Mhm.
be honest with me. Like, no
Yeah.
one good plays the 2Ks. Okay, the 5K women and company won it. Okay, fair enough. But like, if you wanna win the 3K prize pool, put everything into playoffs where all the best teams are gonna play and the best team is gonna win.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So that was my feedback to Val.
But
Like
then
literally.
surely no one would play the 5Ks or the 2Ks then, if
Yeah,
there's no
but
prize pool.
what are they for?
The points, right, for seeding.
Yeah, points for seeding. But basically, if I win playoffs right now without playing 2Ks or 5Ks, I'm gonna be top one in seeding. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I mean, playoffs like give so much points that the 2Ks and 5Ks are just a way of I don't know giving points out to the worst teams. What do
Okay.
you want to have if you're Val? What do you want to have in the event in the August event? The best 8 teams or the teams that most play?
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if playoffs it was there's 4 playoffs. There's 8 teams that are consistent in those 4 playoffs. Those are the best teams that are gonna go to the LAN event.
That's fair enough. Yeah. I mean, that feedback is obviously like feedback from players. It's player perspective. It's going to happen, right? And Val will take that on board, I presume, going forward. That being said, I think Ruben will definitely appreciate you gassing EEG up a little bit. Um,
And
that
with a few
means,
changes, I'm saying Val is top 2.
yeah, Val. You think Val will be top two with EEG
With a
or
few
NGL?
changes.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
With NGL being top 3, obviously.
Yeah, okay. NGL third. All right, that's fair enough. Maybe if NGL had an English stream, they'd be top one.
Maybe.
Maybe. Just give me a job. That's all I want. Right. So we'll talk about EEG Malta 4.0 then, because I think that's the next thing you guys have coming up. You're gonna have your full roster there. Ninjaso, I presume, in tow. He's not banned from EEG, so he can play.
No, you can play.
How are you feeling about the event? Because you're basically confirmed to be there, right? I mean, it's not been tweeted out or anything, but I'm pretty sure that you guys can confirm you're probably gonna go.
No, I can't confirm.
You
Like,
can't
we are
confirm
going.
that.
Like, we are going.
You are going. Okay.
Like, there's no chance we're not going.
Awesome.
Oh,
Apologies for-
okay, there's obviously a chance with coronavirus and shit, but that's not depending on us.
Yeah, of course. That's depending on whether or not you catch the disease.
Yeah, so basically, obviously, there's some external influences that doesn't involve us that could affect our participation in Malta, but at the moment, we are participating
pretty
there.
good. Pretty good to go
Yep.
with Malta 4.0.
And I think the only good team is for the win.
Are they going again?
think.
Is it confirmed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I know they
don't
were
if I can
concerned about
confirm it.
dates at one point, so I didn't know, obviously. But now we do.
No,
know.
but I talked to Sonny and Kits, which was the player that couldn't go. I agreed with his dad something to make him go, so now he's going.
Okay, that's good.
So I think they're going. So I think they're the best team that is going. I don't know if any English good teams are going, to be honest. But I'm sorry to say there's no other good teams.
You think it's going to be an FTW?
It's gonna be an
pushing-
FTW against us,
Yeah.
and we just played a scrim against them, and I think we're a better team at the moment, and we're putting hours we're putting hours into the game. Like, we're playing 2 scrims a day, sometimes an SND Chow, so it has nothing to do with Malta 3.0. We're actually practicing this time, and the team is so strong that, like, I don't see the option of losing coming to us, you know.
Yeah, okay. That's fair enough, and I like the confidence quite a lot. I mean, you guys, like I said, normally, in any normal situation, I'd be saying that maybe the confidence isn't warranted, but the fact of the matter is you guys have won events. Without you, they won 2.0, and with you, they won 3.0, so the confidence is absolutely warranted here, and of course, as you earlier mentioned, Season 1 champions as well, so you've got a lot. I think that there is a lot behind you on this, and hopefully by the time this is out, you will also have had a little bit of success with Val, too. So I guess that's all the discussion about EEG and the whatnot, and you when it comes to sort of your role as a player over the course of the past couple of years, right? But let's talk about the future, because the future for you as a currently 16-year-old, turning 17, as you told me earlier, at Malta 4.0 around that period of time.
The 4th of April.
4th of April, so you're going to be there turning 17 at the event. That leaves you with 1 year until you hit the magic number, 18 years old. For you personally, that's when you become of age to play challenges. Are you going to do it?
It's not in my thought at the moment.
No? Why not?
For one reason. Next year, Rancor and Eric will probably play in our 18 plus team. So that leaves no one to play with in Spain that are at a decent level. And I'm doing international baccalaureate, which is basically A levels, more difficult than A levels.
Yeah.
So and obviously, I'm gonna say this in stream. I don't mind. Like, my parents, like, I have a good like, economically, I'm in a good position. So, like, my parents come from an education of studying and working and forming a family and and shit like that. So, like, it's studies, and then gaming for my family. So I mean, I want to get good grades as well. I want to go to the US to study, and I talked to my parents about it. And when I go to the US to study, I wanna try and compete in the US. So I mean, obviously, challengers is my goal if I compete in the US. But I mean, I think like, if I'm lucky and I play like I'm playing now in Spain, but in the US, I can transition from challengers to CDL in a year or two when I'm 18.
You think
Hopefully.
you can transition into a CDL team? Is that confidence there?
Not at the moment, no.
No,
But I mean, with the work I'm putting in right now, with more time, because obviously uni doesn't have as many hours, then yes, why not? Dreaming is free, so
Why not? I like the confidence. I respect that quite a lot. And I suppose as a wider question then, for you guys in your current squads, do you think all the players when they turn 18, because Rancor is 18 already, right?
No, he's 17.
Is he still 17? When you guys all turn 18, do you think everyone in that squad has a chance, a serious chance of making waves in the amateur scene?
Let's think about something. 12 times 5, yeah? There's
Right.
at the moment 60 CDL players, which are like that play like every
The
event.
starters, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they're starters. And there's around, let's say, 50 players that are subs. And a sub in the CDL gets 60k dollars a year.
Mm-hmm.
That's like nearly 6,000 a month. That's sort of 110 players in the world. I'm sorry to say this, if you're not in CDL, you're not a sub, and you're watching this, and you're playing challengers, if you're a Vortex, if you're a Densa or something like that, I'm sorry, but like it doesn't fit in my mind that Eric or Rancor are in the top 110 players in the world.
You don't think they will be?
I think they will be.
Oh, you think they will be?
Yeah, I think they will be.
All right.
Like
fair enough.
they must be like I don't think, like, I'm sorry to say this, but I don't think like sub players in CDLs are like that good that Rancor and Eric can't get.
But factoring in sort of like friendship circles and the language barrier, of course, because Rancor
Yes,
doesn't
that's
speak
the problem.
that good English at this current point in time.
No, and Eric doesn't either.
Yeah,
So,
the interviews were eventful both at 2.0 and 3.0 with Rancor and Eric respectively. But if they learned English, do you think they're going to be a threat
Definitely.
next year?
Yeah.
100%. Oh, I like that quite a lot.
I really hope. Maybe it's not gonna happen. I don't know. I highly doubt it, but I really hope Rancor and Eric stay together next year. Like play with, I don't know, Buller, Super, and Sukri or something like that.
Mhm.
And like, I'm sure like, if the dominance is in the UK in challengers, the dominance is gonna pass to Spain. Like, I'm
All right,
sure,
that's,
like 100% sure.
That's a bold call. Vikul says, War, SNG, the Spanish scene is coming for you. And it's a scary prospect, I think. We're obviously a year away, and we'll see how these comments look in a year's time. Hopefully I'll still be around casting Call of Duty. But I guess beyond that then, I'll ask one final question, Vikul, which is how confident are you about repeating the results from last year across to Modern Warfare? Do you think this is going to be a dominant year for you guys?
I think it's gonna be better than last year.
All right.
I mean, I'm sorry to say this, but Call of Duty is dying now in the amateur scene at least, and like EEG Val, like the level is there. You know,
Mm-hmm.
last EEG, I think against who did we play finals? Louis and company.
Right, yeah. Bulldog, yeah.
Yes, like I'm sorry to say this, but they weren't a very strong team to play against.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, at the moment, I think in the amateur scene we're the strongest team. So like, if no women's and things like fuck us up in online leagues, we should win all the events. Finals in Spain, EEG Maltas, and all of that, and we should hopefully we should win all the online leagues.
All right.
But we'll see.
We'll see. That's the closing comments from Vikul. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it, man. It's been absolutely wonderful hearing your story and, of course, your opinions on, I guess, your journey throughout Call of Duty over the past few years. I wish you the best of luck at EEG Malta 4.0. For those of you who didn't see the announcement, myself and Connor will be there casting the event once more. So hopefully we do get to see an FTW and Pushing Gaming final. But who knows? Maybe someone will come out and upset. You never know with EEG Malta. But for now, that's going to be the end of the episode. Do you have any closing comments, Vikul?
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me again. And yeah, that's all I have to say. I love my team. I love Call of Duty. So see you at Malta.
All right, see you at Malta. That's the final closing comments. Just for everyone on the who's watching this on the stream, you can catch me on the call every Saturday. We'll be doing our 1K show. We'll be taking a look at a live analysis of the bracket as it progresses, talking about all the amateur teams in European challenges. So don't miss it. That's every single Saturday at twitch.tv youtube.com/beyond the call. And if you don't catch this live, you can watch all of the VODs on my YouTube channel. That's Nfinity Casts. For now, though, I'm going to be done with episode 1. Thank you again to Vikul for coming on. Thank you to everyone for watching this video. If you like what you see, subscribe to my channel, and of course, click the follow button on the Beyond the Call Twitch. Again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in episode 2.